What up, leaders? Welcome back to my channel. We are in South Ruimveldt Gardens. This is Aubrey Barker Road. We're at the junction. This used to be called the junction, the intersection with Aubrey Barker Road and that entrance. That's looking east. And these are the buildings next door. There's a bank. That blue machine is the ATM for Republic Bank. But this building, remember this building? It has been completed, but the owners of the building are yet to be identified. Now, people have commented in the past that this building might also be owned by Clifford Reese and the Citizens Bank. I have not yet discovered the owner. There is no label on the building. There are no markings except the colors, the red and the gray. So we're still waiting to see who the owners of this building will turn out to be. But here on Aubrey Barker Road in South Ruimveldt Gardens, there's a lot of construction going on. This is, I think, a residential building. Right, that's a residential building that's being constructed here. And exactly across the street, there is this. Now, it doesn't look like a residential building. It actually looks like a commercial building because of the lack of windows. It would be pretty dark inside if it was a residential building. And there seems to be parking underneath the building. Right, seems to be some kind of arrangements for parking underneath the building. Let's see if we can get. Morning. Trying to find out who owns this building. Trying to find out who owns the building. Morning. See if you can talk to the guard here and find out. You spoke to her over there? You spoke to the guard over there? Yeah, I'm trying to find out who owns the building, if it's the same as the Citizens Bank building, the same owners? So it's a different bank. It's like a residential or a commercial building? Residential building. All right, thanks. Talk here, you can talk. So apparently it's going to be a residential building, but it doesn't seem to have enough windows, in my estimation, to be a residential building. But as you can see, there's a guard hut at the entrance. Seems to be an electrical station as well. And this is the west side of the building. So apparently this is going to be a residential building, which is kind of interesting. There's also a lot of construction here this is Aubrey Barker Road. They seem to be constructing a large easement. Now remember, this is the reserve, right? We're actually on the reserve land, and this reserve, just give you a perspective. I'm actually moving away from the building so that you can get a better perspective from the west side, but that's looking into the sun, so I don't know how much well it will come out. This is what that building looks like. I'm told by the guard it's going to be a residential building. It seems to be unoccupied for a residential building. There are no curtains. And it has been constructed like a commercial building, which means that if it is a residential building, it seems to be a fortress. It's built like a bank. A residential building that is built like a bank with very few windows and a lot of concrete and steel. So I'm not so sure. We will wait to find out eventually, of course. what it turns out to be. And as soon as I know who's living there and who owns it, I will bring that to your attention. But this is what's happening here, guys. We are on Aubrey Barker Road in South Ruimveldt Gardens, and I just thought I'd bring you an update on what's happening with this bank. Now, the bank has since opened for business and is now a satellite location for the Citizens Bank group. Now, it turns out that Citizens Bank, which is owned by Clifford Reese and the bank's DIH group of companies, has built these structures around the country. Now, this is one of several of their locations outside of the city center. I think they also have built such an branch in Berbice and on the east coast. I don't know if they're also in Bartica, but what is characteristic is the architecture. So Citizens has chosen certain architecture for the building that is distinctive. Somebody else is constructing this building. Last time we were here in this neck of the woods, this building was not as far along as it is right now, but it is progressing. It is making progress. So this is Citizens Bank. This is at the corner of what I call the junction. It's built on the reserve, right? The reserve land between Mandela Avenue and Aubrey Barker Road. And it is now open for business. Now, what I was looking for on the other building is a nameplate. So the Citizens Bank nameplate is on this building, right? The Citizens Bank nameplate is there on the building, as you can see. And the building next door does not seem to have a nameplate. There are ATM machines here, and I think you can also conduct business inside the bank. So it is a fully operational branch of Citizens Bank. And the building next door does not seem to have any labels. That's Citizens Bank here in South Ruimveldt Gardens. So my brief talk with the guard on this grey and red building tells me that this is a residential building. So looking at it from the east, right, so this is going to be a residential building, but because of the striking similarity to this Citizens Bank building, I was under the impression that it was most likely to be another bank. Still waiting to find out though. Now across the street on Aubrey Barker Road, that's a new building. I think that one is likely to be residential. Alright, it's right in between several homes on Aubrey Barker Road. So my assumption is that this one is going to be a residential building. But it's difficult for me to see how this one, this new building, which is now complete with guards, how this one is also a residential building. It's actually built like a commercial building. The space inside seems to be Based on the outside, based on the observation of the outside, the space inside the building does not lend itself to residential use. It seems to me it would be much better as a commercial building. See, on the other side this is East Ruimveldt, the other side of the road. We haven't actually done a walkthrough of East Ruimveldt. It's a residential neighborhood. We'll probably get to it. Some people have asked me to do a walk around of East Ruimveldt. But here we are looking at the this new building on Aubrey Barker Road. It's actually on the reserve between Aubrey Barker Road and Mandela Avenue. This is Mandela Avenue. It's about 6:30 on Saturday morning in Georgetown. And we're trying to ascertain whether this is a commercial or residential building. This has been a mystery for quite some time, and various people have speculated. Some people have actually told me in the comments that they think this is a residential building that is owned by Clifford Reese. I have not yet been able to verify that, but we will keep examining. So you can see there are cooling compressors on the western side of the building, and the paint colors still remind me of one of the banks like Scotiabank, but we will see when people move in. Like I said, there are no curtains, there's no evidence that people are living, there's no lights on in the building, so we're gonna wait to see
distance
exactly what it turns out to be.
2 miles.
And this is
Duration.
Citizens Bank.
40 minutes. 13 seconds. Pace. 24 minutes. 3 seconds per mile.
So guys, tell me what you think about Citizens Bank opening a new branch here in South Ruimveldt Gardens. If you have used this branch, tell me what you think about the service and the convenience of having a Citizens Bank branch in this neck of the woods.